It's been an absolutely fantastic journey. I think people, when I started the Grading Council, it was almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And when I arrived there, we had this feeling that grading was about, inspectors arriving and checking off on a list just how good you are doing what you are doing. But I think what I bring to the Grading Council is a marketing perspective on it. And the reality is, from a grading perspective, grading is the quality assurance behind South Africa's destination brand.
Yeah.
My biggest learning is that not everything is the same for every different business.
Yeah.
And help people along the journey, I think, is really, really critical. In fact, what we are looking to grow the grading criteria into is not just accommodation providers and venues and function venues, but also into product and experience.
100.
So when we start acknowledging the product and experience, it then changes the game one more time.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Tourism Grading Council of South Africa. In just 2 minutes, we'll share our mission, purpose, and the role you play in shaping South Africa's tourism landscape.
The Tourism Grading Council is committed to ensuring the delivery of quality-assured tourist and visitor experiences. Our goal is to grow the number of graded properties across South Africa, which will elevate perceptions of our nation as a quality destination.
Your contributions matter. Every assessment, every interaction, and every effort counts. Together, we'll deliver diverse, unique, and enriched experiences that leave lasting memories. Thank you for being an integral part of our mission. Together, as we place the stars where they truly belong, we will transform South Africa into the ultimate tourist destination. So, let's embark on this journey together.
Quality assurance in Gauteng is depicted by the big G, which is about gold, but is also about growth. And at this episode on Gauteng Live podcast, we are reflecting and dissecting tourism hospitality and how it needs quality assured product. My name is Barba G, your champion home. Welcome to Gauteng Live, the premier platform where we share, propagate, converse and engage on everything about the visitor economy in the Golden Province of Gauteng, how it interfaces with other sectors. And today we're overlaying it with the importance and the need for quality assured product experiences. To dive on this episode, we are joined by my dear friend, my fellow soundboard that I always bounce stuff with, the Chief Quality Assurance Officer at South African Tourism, and having also played many other roles, acting CEO, CMO at some point, started there dealing with digital marketing. Bronwyn Auret, welcome to Gauteng Live.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you for having me.
It's been a while. We have been avoiding us, and finally we got you, and thanks to the BQV program, we managed to pull you into Gauteng.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, indeed, it has been a very busy season because we've been doing very important work for the province. So
yeah, not just for the province. You are a national destination marketing organization. So just came back from KZN. Therefore, the need to have quality assured product experiences and the like rest in your shoulders. So do you walk around with those old school stamps? Where you pass, you either put a stamp, and anything without your stamp, it's a no, it's a phone call.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, but a little bit more collaborative. So it's really exciting. The Tourism Grading Council of South Africa is tasked with the amazing mandate of quality assuring South Africa's tourism product. Absolutely.
Maybe let's dive into that. But before we get into the mandate and the work that you do, just in summary, apart from you being a very fabulous and cool mom and, a multifaceted person, in a nutshell, who's Bronwyn and your professional career rise?
Barba, I am a marketer by profession, first and foremost. Yeah. But I think for me, what I am obsessed with is problem solving. Okay. So I thrive completely in the state of trying to understand the root cause of anything. So where most people will run away, I'm kind of going, no, let's figure out what the business problem is here and then solve for it. Yeah. And at the very heart of it, I like challenges and I like to solve them, and I like to collaborate with people in solving those problems, which is possibly why I work in a national environment with the different provinces, different products, to make sure that South Africa has got the best quality assured product available to our travellers.
Yeah. And I guess that's why we relate so well, because I equally thrives under challenges. And I'm saying if the world was so normal, without challenges, it will be such a boring space. What take on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's look now at your role as a unit, as a business unit within South African tourism, being responsible for ensuring that there's norms and standards that are equally supposed to be spread, socialized across, because a bed is a bed. A breakfast is breakfast. Yeah. You can have it at a restaurant, in your house, in an establishment, in a boat or wherever. So having to get breakfast in a hotel, it's not necessarily an exclusive service. Therefore, the importance of ensuring that these products offer quality assured services, and how has it been with the workings of the Grading Council in starting to normalize the issues of quality and norms and standard?
It's been an absolutely fantastic journey. I think people, when I started the Grading Council, it was almost 5 years ago. Yeah. And when I arrived there, we had this feeling that grading was about inspectors arriving and checking off on a list just how good you are doing what you are doing. But I think what I bring to the Grading Council is a marketing perspective on it. And the reality is, from a grading perspective, grading is the quality assurance behind South Africa's destination brand. Yeah. So we put the trust into the tourism product. It's a little bit like Woolworths. And you go to Woolworths, you can buy anything, and if you've got a problem, you can return it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So we are that business unit that makes sure that you have a guarantee in the tourism experience. And it's been absolutely fantastic to go on this journey. And for me, dealing with the product, working with everyone across the tourism sector is a complete privilege. Yeah. And I want to be very clear that it's not about everyone trying to be 5-star. It's definitely not about everyone trying to be 5-star. Quality assurance is about making sure that the core tenets of a tourism product are in place. Yeah. Health and safety, the facilities, making sure that things work in a manner where no one can be injured, where the experience is guaranteed in terms of your arrival, your actual stay, and how you depart. Yeah. And I think it's about the customer experience. And whilst we are not grading your design of your property,
absolutely,
it's a very collaborative process where we work with the industry to say, how are we going to develop the categories and the criteria for indicating who's a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5-star or 5-star premium.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we don't make that up.
Yeah. So this is set.
It's set, and it's actually predicated by the consumer.
Yeah.
Because consumer trends will determine how someone experiences a hotel.
Yeah.
So we are very rigorous in consulting across the criteria. We're very rigorous in terms of making sure it's informed by consumer trends. And so that when we come up with the criteria, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Some of the newest and greatest products are in there. So we have amazing digital nomads coming to South Africa.
Yeah.
And you'll see our apartment category
Yeah.
is so wonderful. So we're not really backpacking.
Yeah.
We're offering apartment accommodation as South
And
Africa.
I've seen a lot of, especially the internationals that do long stays in the country.
Absolutely.
They are even shooting their own YouTube channels there in our apartments in South Africa.
It's amazing. So there's a brand new product that falls into this category in the Western Cape. It's a black brick product. I think we know the black brick group.
Yes, they're
which
fantastic.
Is here in Johannesburg.
Fantastic,
They're amazing. Their brand new black brick and gardens is designed for creative digital nomads.
Absolutely.
It's got the studios on the roof. You can host an event, and it's structured for people who are remote working and are predominantly in the creative industry.
Yeah.
And that is quite an amazing feat. It's really fantastic.
Yeah. So you touched on that you play very little to no role in the actual initial design of the establishments. But in light of this conversation and the specific area of focus that we are now discussing, don't you think the issue of grading and the issue of quality assurance and meeting the basic norms, minimum norms and standards should actually be also embedded during the designing stage to engender future-ready design thinking in the actual construction? Because right now, I guess even the physical bricks and mortar construction takes into consideration the fluid and dynamic change. So there's prefab, utilization of stuff, the sustainability embedded in mind.
Yeah.
So the studios and the rooftops and the black breeds and the like is not because but it's because they are future ready, but they've embedded a design thinking. Your take on that?
So I think what is really important about the grading criteria is that we work across norms and standards across 8 different categories and 5 stars.
Yeah.
So you'll have formal accommodation, the hotel category, you'll have bed and breakfast, guest house, self-catering, apartment hotels, camping, backpackers, got nature lodges, and we also have venues and events or business events and function venues.
Yeah.
And what is important is that when we set a grading criteria, we make it quite flexible but rigid in terms of the table stakes.
Yeah.
So we do say, you need a bed in a bedroom.
Yeah.
We do say you need 2 bedside tables and lamps on either side.
Absolutely.
But how you do it is up to you.
Yeah.
The biggest change in our latest consultation with the industry was around technology.
Yeah.
So from a technology perspective, when you have a conference venue, we had just come out of COVID when we've done this whole industry-wide analysis and engagement. And what is great is everyone is already there because we're already doing hybrid. When you go into a meeting room, you better have a good internet line.
Absolutely.
And you have to have some sort of video conferencing capability for a hybrid meeting event. So we've seen that kind of change coming through. So it's very trend-based. It's very responsive. We don't limit anybody on what kind of experience they'd like to do. In fact, what we do is we reward experience. So there are 23 properties across this country that qualify for something called 5-star premium.
Yeah.
And that is when a property, it goes way beyond a 5-star expectation, and it's generally in the experience space.
Absolutely.
And that is fantastic. So the Saxon Hotel here in Gauteng is one of those 23 properties.
Yeah.
And I think the history around the Saxon Hotel being gifted by Nelson Mandela and their whole experience.
Yeah.
And they generally have a high staff to visitor ratio, and you're going to get something way beyond an average 5-star restaurant. So we do recognize those experiences, but we don't limit it because that is for the business owner to really dictate.
And speaking about COVID and its own challenges and also the opportunities it unlocked, you'll recall, and speaking to your table stakes, and I guess those are what you will term the license to operate.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my colleagues the other time that not that I'm revealing my age, and but I remember back days in primary school, the cholera pandemic in South Africa, and we were all taught how to sing songs about fighting cholera. Washing hands, and all of those that were brought back during COVID.
Yeah.
But surely, getting into a place, having a sanitizer, washing hands, keeping safe distance, isn't it just part of what is required in our everyday living? Therefore, COVID just expanded and reminded us of those basic things. Your take on that, and how has been your observation now and the reception now in terms of post-COVID environment? Why are establishment now not still making it compulsory to sanitize yourself and all of those health safety measures, like we have said, to say there are certain table stakes, health and safety and all of those stuff, food security, whether there's COVID or not, covering the food, making sure that the basics are attended to, surely should be the order of the day.
Yes, they should be, and they are embedded in the grading criteria. So I think the safety component, and I'm talking about health and safety, not just personal safety. Health and safety, we've seen, we know these things: wash your hands, sanitize. When you go into hotels, a 3-star hotel has got different kinds of soaps when you go into it.
Yes.
And just reaffirming that and making sure that it's there, whether it's a sanitizer and or a bar of soap or a liquid soap, that it's available. And I think that's really important to minimum standards for health and safety. The one health and safety practice that started during COVID, actually, oddly enough, is around blankets.
Yes.
So during COVID, if you recall, or just after, when we could start moving around, you'd have your blankets packaged into a plastic bag.
Yes, and shoved somewhere
and put on a shelf.
The top there.
Exactly. So that is one of the best outcomes of COVID is knowing that you have a clean blanket that has been stored in a clean packaging. It's no longer plastic because we want to be sustainable. So a lot of people are putting it into a recycled form of material, but it does then guarantee that. So that's one of those wonderful takeouts from COVID. And like I said, the other thing is the technology acceleration. And a lot of properties have now acknowledged the technology requirement. Some of your bigger hotel groups have also reinvested significantly into that. So it's really exciting to see those changes giving the business case to the investors on why they should update the assets.
Absolutely. Speaking about the traditional grading process, and now on the segment on why grading matters, but equally, what can we evolve? A characterization of a 1-star, a 2-star, a 3-star, and 5-star, in the normal norms and standards, if you can just take us through that. What are the bare minimum requirements for a 1-star up until a 5-star, like you're saying? But equally, what if I want to set up a 6-star? Are we forced to be confined to 1 to 5? In Gauteng, our standard is gold. What if 5-star doesn't meet our gold ambition?
5-star has to meet your gold ambition. We can take that offline. So, look, the 1 to 5-star really gives you an indication of the level of comfort, and they're all fit for purpose. So, one of my best examples of a 1-star property is the Road Lodge here in Rivonia. It's a fantastic property. Now, if you are in a business where you have to travel and you're only looking for somewhere to put your head down for the night, but you have to park your car in a safe space with a gate that closes, right? That Road Lodge is fabulous. It's fabulous because you're in Gauteng for maybe 6 hours. You don't even need breakfast, but you just need that safety. You need the door with a double lock on it, and you're going to have a peaceful night of sleep, and the next morning you're going to get up and go. And I think fit for purpose is very important around star grading. 2-star, you start getting a little more comfort, but you'll be sure that the basics of health and safety, cleanliness, basic services, making sure that there's someone to receive you at the desk is going to be there.
Yeah.
There's going to be security on site.
Yeah.
3-star is probably the most familiar product to everybody who's watching this podcast.
Yeah.
You're going to get your breakfast in the morning. You're going to get all your amenities. There's a lockable safe in your room. There's a double lock on your door. You're going to make sure that in some 3-stars, not all, you will have a water, possibly in a fridge, but you will definitely have a bottle of water there for you, and some glasses there, and a little coffee and tea station. 4-star starts becoming a lot more luxurious. The size of the bed is bigger. The kind of linen you have is great. It's obviously going to be some form of high-end cotton or fancier. 5-star gets even more luxurious, where you get dressing gowns and slippers and all sorts of bells of and whistles thrown in. Service is 24/7. There's full porterage, and it just becomes a lot more luxurious in that experience. So I think that the 5-star grading is the gold standard, but now going beyond the gold standard.
Yeah. And I guess that's why a destination like Dubai, and I always say, they build a 7-star
Correct.
Burj Khalifa hotel, and they jump 6 so that no one can catch them.
Yes.
So even if you are trying to move beyond 5, you are going to end at 6, and they are already there. And I guess for me, that's the agility and the breaking the norm without compromising the table stakes that I was talking about. This sounds fantastic. For me, this should be embedded. Should be a daily practice. Anyone, an investor, anyone who's looking at venturing into accommodation businesses, watching us, listening to us, should have this as basic information.
Yes.
And everyone running facilities, accommodation, should be having this as an embedded practice. What is the business challenge? Why are we not having this as a norm and operating at a level where actually we should be, and with a fantastic portfolio we have in South Africa? The same way as we're not being forced to provide and showcase and imbue Ubuntu. It's built in us. Whether you're arriving at a port, it's just built in us. Is there room to socialize this, to build it into our DNA and everyday life as operators in this space to mitigate the challenge? Your take?
Absolutely. Look, Barba, like anything, the reality is there are challenges. We do not make grading mandatory, and there's a very good reason for that. Not all products are gradable. Not all products are gradable. And therein lies the challenge and the opportunity. So the challenge is that, I might be a micro business. I might be a micro business that decides that I'm going to set up a campsite on a plot that I've inherited, and I'm going to start it, and that's great, and it works. But I might not have all of the facilities, because I will require capital investment.
Absolutely.
I might require some operational guidance. I might need some skills in terms of how to host people. And whilst tourism is a low barrier to entry business, becoming formal can be challenging, because to develop a business takes a degree of skill, and it takes a degree of tolerance for the red tape, if I can put it that way. So the challenge is about providing a gateway into the formal tourism sector. And it's a challenge which the Grading Council has obsessed over and has led to the launch of the Basic Quality Verification Program. Because we recognize that tourism could be the single greatest catalytic change to our economy. Because it's easy to get into the business, right? And we also realize that it's great to get into it, but you might not have all the things you need in that process. So we've developed the Basic Quality Verification Program that has worked with the likes of yourselves to identify these businesses. And through identifying them, we have gone through them through a team of evaluators to meet with these properties and see if they qualify not for grading, but a pre-grading program called Basic Quality Verification.
So
And
it's the kindergarten
It's the entry point.
version,
Absolutely.
entry point.
Entry
So
point.
where they teach you how to survive without your parents
Correct.
for a day.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. And the program is designed to make sure you have to have basic health and safety in place.
Yeah.
You have to have basic amenities in place.
Yeah.
And we are encouraging homestays. We are encouraging experiences to be included in that.
Yeah.
Because that is part of the culture of South Africa that we need to package and sell.
Absolutely.
What is even better than just acknowledging these properties is that through the Department of Tourism, we've engaged with the Enterprise Development Program, which then comes in post the Basic Quality Verification Program and engages with the business owners to help them become more business proficient.
Absolutely.
So they might need some training in terms of how to become tax compliant,
Yes.
or how to fill in
your statements,
correct
your balance, your balancing your books,
Correct.
accounting standards, and all that.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
All the
Love it.
administration
Yeah.
required, they give their
Yeah.
consult. And so it works hand in glove, and it's one of our real proof points. In 2021, we started this program in the Eastern Cape. There were 71 properties that were certified. Of those 71, 16 of them are now fully graded.
Perfect. I guess there lies an opportunity to even do more, having now laid the foundation. And in South Africa, and especially the bulk of the audience that we are also trying to reach with this channel, for me, there lies even a broader opportunity for collaborations. So let's put on your marketing head,
Okay.
and let's look at an influencer-driven program.
Yes.
Apart from influencers that are concentrating on sharing their own experience at the product or at the facility, taking their videos. I'm now at the pool. I'm now having my breakfast. But a program that now equally highlights, the different provisioning of the different stars that you have just articulated.
Yes.
The importance of moving from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
And allowing space for the other one to get into one,
Yeah.
so that this wheel can glide.
Yeah.
But equally the feel-good factor, the fact that you are prepared, but ultimately sustaining this, because probably the initial cohort of graded establishment in the country, and I remember the fancy to grading just before the FIFA 2010 World Cup.
Wow.
where everyone wanted to be grading. I don't know who said that the FIFA will consider only the one that had a star outside their facilities, and there was just so much broad grading. But I guess it came with the excitement and the opportunity, and from there, in my own assessment, very little investment in the sustenance and in the continuous assessment process that keeps the norms and standard embedded.
Yes, yeah.
Therefore, the use of popular culture, not just to showcase the whistles and bells, but also to showcase the work that gets done behind to retain those norms and standard and the quality, using popular culture, influencers, dance challenges, and the like.
You can see into my head, Barba.
Yeah.
So I must share with you. This is one of the most exciting jobs I've ever had. Every month we go through a process of vetting all the properties. So we probably get between 300 and 500 properties a month that we vet to be finally graded.
Yeah.
But that process is so exciting because it doesn't just arrive. It comes after 2 other processes that precede it. An assessor goes to the property and evaluates it. It then goes to a provincial quality assurance specialist that then checks the assessor's assessment is correct. And then we get together as an executive team and we review every single property. It's a little bit like swipe left, swipe right.
Yes, yeah.
And if there is a team of content creators out there who wants to cover it, I'm telling you, it is possibly the most exciting program.
And you'll never run out of content.
No.
I mean, 500 a month.
It's amazing. It's super fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun, and I want to be very clear. It's not punitive.
Absolutely.
So we have worked with groups, brand new groups. There's a fantastic new group called the Sleepover Group.
Yeah.
They have converted a bunch of prefabs close to border posts into 3-star accommodation. Now, they're new investors. They're new to the market. It's a great product. If you've just come over the border and you need to just rest your head for a night, it's a fabulous product. And they've worked with us, and they've all brought all of their product on site. There are many sites across the country, and it is really great to see how they are evolving.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is the story, and that is the proof point of South Africa. It's amazing.
Yeah. And imagine now South Africans themselves articulating that story, what level of comfort, of quality assurance, and quality assurance, like you've said, moves across the different criterions to basic safety,
Absolutely.
to health, and all of those aspects. The basic qualification program that we have just, recently working with Gauteng Tourism in awarding, I'm told there were about 200 and only about 170 made it.
Yes.
And for me, not that I'm excited that people couldn't make it, but for me, what excited me was that there was no compromise in the standard.
Yeah.
You have to sweat.
Yeah.
You have to demonstrate. You have to put, and show, put your skin in the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a freebie. It might be led by a government entity.
Yeah.
But we mean business here.
Absolutely.
And it's for your own benefit. So what is the plan with the outstanding 30? And as you look into them in your own view, and I know you've been doing it in KZN, and I don't know what are the numbers in KwaZulu-Natal, but having launched this, just during the COVID period, and having to babysit this, from start to end, your major observations and what can we enhance just out of, this kindergarten entry level but quality program that we have just launched?
I think what is really exciting for me and what we can learn from it is that we have to be kind to people.
Yeah.
I know it sounds, we have to be human and helping people to graduate through a process.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of business owners come to me and be so excited about the certification as if I did the work. No, I really didn't.
Yeah.
I really did not do the work.
Absolutely.
They did the work.
Yeah.
And it is our privilege to be able to be in a position to create the programs to help people along their journey. Yeah. And I think what is really exciting is to see the likes of yourselves and the other provinces, and not just provinces, but district managers.
Yes, 100. Yeah.
Government gets a bad rap. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to be the one who says, actually, I've got colleagues in this game who are pretty amazing, who have supported this program. In Ilembe district in KZN, the chairperson of Ilembe district actually spoke on a platform where he was promoting both BQV and 5-star premium.
Yeah.
And he was acknowledging the role that he played to make sure that everyone gets their space, as well as the grading council, but the businesses ultimately win. So for me, my biggest learning is that not everything is the same for every different business.
Yeah.
And help people along the journey, I think, is really, really critical.
Beyond accommodation, what's the vision? And how do we actually even socialize South Africans first? Yeah. And our entire ecosystem markets. Because I guess, and it's always been my take, that nobody leaves their comfortable homes, fly long haul into South Africa, or leave, their provinces and get into Gauteng to sleep in a bed. And be in that space. You probably make a better breakfast in your house at your own time. There's no one knocking and saying housekeeping. You get what I mean. Therefore, while the accommodation and its quality and norms and standard becomes almost like a hook. Yeah. How do we ensure that this moves beyond the accommodation? Like I was saying, surely nobody goes to a space to go sleep.
Yeah,
I've been in situations where I've put my bag on the bed, and actually the time I was getting back into that room is to fetch the bag and run to the airport.
Exactly. Look, I think the reality is the difference in South Africa as a whole is the people. And beyond the facility, the facility gives you trust.
Yeah.
The people give you the feeling and the experience. And I get to travel the country, for the purpose of grading. I stay in all sorts of accommodation types. And it really is not about whether or not I slept in a comfortable bed. That holds some value.
Yeah, it does.
But it's the way that I feel.
Yeah.
And I think it's the great Maya Angelou quote, you can forget everything about the experience except how the person made you feel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think for me, particularly in South Africa, when you get greeted by somebody, when somebody takes, as South Africans, we greet everyone, and we really are interested to know how you are.
Exactly.
Go to Europe, they don't care.
It's not the default settings that every time when somebody passes we press, and then you just ask how are you. We are genuinely interested in knowing how are you.
It's a really deep insight about South Africans.
Yeah.
And we, you talk about Ubuntu, South Africans are caring. Yeah. We genuinely care. And I think that comes through in our product. It comes through in all our product. And in fact, what we are looking to grow the grading criteria into is not just accommodation providers and venues and function venues, but also into product and experience.
100.
So when we start acknowledging the product and experience, it then changes the game one more time.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that we're looking to bring back, by the way, is the acknowledgement of service excellence.
100.
So
I was coming to that. Yeah.
So we're hoping that in this year we'll be able to relaunch Lelizela, which is the Service Excellence Award for the industry.
Premium one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I think critically, the component that we want to acknowledge in that is the people.
Yeah.
Because, you could be the best concierge, and the truth is, if you're not the best concierge, we're not going to get the business. Yeah. You can have the best building, but who cares about a building?
I mean, who doesn't, have fond memories, nostalgic, episode about our doorbell and concierge guy at the Hilton
with all his badges.
With all his badges. I mean, I'm even getting goosebumps, just talking about. And to your point. Yeah.
And he would never forget someone's name, which always amazed me. I'd be like, how do you remember my name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 100%. So does that also opens up the expansion beyond accommodation, creates opportunities for more collaborations? Yes. I guess you are not the only quality assurance body in the value chain. So let's talk about the storytellers, the guides that gets their badge through provincial authorities and the provincial, registrars.
Yeah.
Therefore, the Tourism Grading Council of South Africa, in association with the Tourist Guides Association, in association with the transport providers guys, all of a sudden, as you expand this, becomes a way in which quality assurance table stakes are expanded.
Yes.
Therefore, it becomes a way to embed this, but it's done from multiple front, because you might have a great, excellent, quality assured accommodation, but you are picked up by a pub. Tour operator,
yes.
With a skorokoro kumbi out there, and an unfriendly driver,
yes,
unregistered car, and for me that then just diminishes and just destroys the earlier, excitement and the quality that you experience. Your take on that?
I couldn't agree with you more, Barba. My responsibilities, although I am in charge of the grading council, I also look after the visitor experience and the touch points.
Yeah.
So the truth is, your visitor experience starts way before you land in South Africa. The moment you go onto your website and start considering South Africa, that visitor experience is affected. And you're quite right. you could have a terrible stay, not because of the accommodation, but because of something that happened between the airport and your destination. And that is ultimately why we have to look at the full value chain and say, how do we look at quality assuring the entire value chain? And it might not be grading at every touch point, but it might be training. So we do offer training. We train a lot of different people across the country through a program called the Welcome Program.
Oh, yes.
And it's a very simple program. How to greet people in different languages, being mindful of cultural nuances. So some people, may have a disability. It's about being inclusive and understanding how to treat people with disabilities, how to treat people from different orientations, and language. There's language barrier. So I think, the visitor experience is such a critical part of tourism, and that also puts the trust into an experience. When someone, having been fortunate enough to travel to different countries, I've been to countries where people speak a foreign language. You could be at the hotel reception, and they make no effort to try and engage with you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Take
At
it or
all,
leave
and
it.
nonchalant about it and the like. So, Bronwyn, I guess there are also opportunities to engender and almost enforce transformation here. Because the reality is that, if we look at our accommodation subsector or sub-industry landscape, it's dominated by major players, big players, chain groups, and the like. And that is why I still adored the Adopt a Guest House program back in the days that was launched by Tsohosan, linking the small guest houses to their establishment and creating almost an integrated loop of quality experiences, a feeder program that doesn't lower the standards, but you are able to even see the graduation, of the teams. A receptionist at that guest house excels, and ultimately the receptionist at the hotel and the like. So you are able to retain staff, you are able to retain talent, but you are also able to retain quality and assurance. Therefore, a collaboration with other quality assurance bodies, expands the pool, the skill base, because the reality, like I was saying, small players might be left out because they feel they don't meet anything between 1 and 5. Therefore, the basic qualification allows for that small players. But how does your program assist in speeding up transformation and creating access, and especially also aspects like inclusion, where again, because of design, I only have the stairs in my establishment, and therefore I'm not accommodating persons with disabilities. And the like, because I was trying to avoid having to deal with emergency services requirement in case of emergency. Therefore, I just put the stairs and the like, but not knowing that I'm actually inhibiting inclusion and accommodating multi-dimension persons and guests in my establishment.
Barba, that is our next challenge, and I'll tell you why. So the basic quality verification program, in terms of introducing people into the tourism sector. So, this is the gateway into the tourism sector. Giving people enterprise development is the next phase. The next phase is then, I think, access to funding. And that is what I'm now lobbying for. So consider this lobbying, anybody listening.
Is it generally funded? No, you can speak to them. That's your camera.
I'm lobbying.
You can look at them and directly indicate. I guess it's also structured and deliberately targeted funding. It's not generic funding. It might be funding that helps you to tweak, to make inclusion an embedded feature in your establishment.
Absolutely. And I definitely, so when you talk about disability and inclusion of people with disabilities, the challenge we have in South Africa is that the build economy doesn't recognize the inclusivity of mobility, hearing difficulties, visual impairment, that kind of thing. and it's not mandated.
Yeah.
So people do it because they know it's important for the consumers. And what we do is we try and put some parameters around that too through our universal access certification. And it's a very important part of what you do because, disabilities are not about people being born with a disability.
Yeah, absolutely.
People who, a mother who is pregnant with 2 small children is in principle challenged mobility-wise, an elderly person with a walking stick or a wheelchair, that kind of thing. It's very much about it. But, I think the next phase is having incentive programs or funding specifically for the development of product. So that BQV product, getting to having an inclusive kind of disability program to enhance it would be great. So what the Department of Tourism has done for graded properties is introduce a grading support program, which aids properties who meet the criteria to get funding of up to 80% discount off of your grading fees.
Yeah.
They have further also gone on to have a fund called the Tourism Green Incentive Program.
Perfect, yeah.
So once you grade it, you qualify to apply for the incentive program, which can then open up to R1 million worth of funding for renewable energy implementation. So in principle, we need something similar to that to help people get their, the CAPEX. So if I'm a basic quality verified product, and I actually just need to enhance my bathrooms or get another light or, whatever it might be, we should be able to have a fund specifically for that because the fact that we verified them gives them the opportunity to be reviewed by anybody then. They're in business, we've certified them, it should be a great opportunity to get to the next phase, which is investment.
In Gauteng, we have an entrepreneur and enterprise support agency called the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller.
Yes.
And as you were speaking, I was like, there is a delivery partner opportunity for JEP.
Yes.
Because over these 170 products, the basics have been done. They've been pre-qualified.
Yeah.
How does JEP becomes a partner in delivering them now to the grading promise?
I would love that.
So earlier on when I was saying influential people and influential bodies are actually part of our ecosystem, so speak to them. But I see the opportunity because sometimes, especially sectoral bodies, tend to think inwards.
Yeah.
And with our 5 rands, we want to do work with 5,000 rand.
Absolutely.
And you are unable to scale, you are able to generate impact, you end up just chasing numbers.
Yeah.
And this takes me to, the importance of taking this to its logical conclusion. The entire, end-to-end process from awareness to basic qualification to entry now and be a player and into the graded space and sustaining the grading.
Yes.
Similarly to how if I use the soccer, which I know you love football, not everybody is in the PSL.
Yeah.
The academies require specialized, and that's what Coach Pizzo was trying to teach us in our podcast when he was speaking about the requirements for, specialized training for kids.
Yep.
Because you are imparting a basic but an embedded criterion that will last them lifelong.
Yeah.
So, with that said, what happens to those thousands BNBs that have been graded? How long is the grading?
Yeah.
How do you refresh it?
Yeah.
And at how long does it the system allows you in? And at what point does the system disqualifies you? And at what point do you get in? I know you said it's not punitive.
Yeah.
It's not inspector driven like in the back old days.
Yeah.
But surely it's false advertising if I still have the 5-star or 3-star sign in my property and nothing in terms of the service and the basic requirements resembles a 3-star.
Absolutely. So from a grading perspective, your grading is valid for 1 year. And the way that it works is an assessor will come to your property to assess the property. So the assessors we have are certified. They are CATSETA accredited. We train them. they are fully capable of grading. And the reason I'm raising this is because a lot of people ask me, but surely my online guest review is adequate. Well, your online guest is not qualified to make the assessment. Yeah. So my analogy, Barba, is always the fact that if I want to eat food in my neighborhood, I'm very skeptical of those reviews, because when I eat the food, I'm a little bit concerned about who made the review. Sometimes,
absolutely, no, for sure. But in the world of AI and computer and machine learning and generation, some instances you can actually even buy the reviews.
Exactly. So the role of the physical assessment is very important. And there's a relationship, and it's an important relationship, because property is one consultation. They may be saying, I'm a 2-star, I'm going for 3 over the next 5 years. Yeah. Help me go on that journey. And they work in a consultative nature. And we work with some provincial authorities who ask us to provide that consultation. And we go in proactively as opposed to waiting for someone to come into us. So that's the first thing. The second thing is on basic quality verification is the certification is valid for 2 years.
Okay.
So we recognize it takes a longer period of time for you to be able to become, graded. And my hope is that we are able to launch a national basic quality verification program in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And we've started the process. And why I'm saying that's important, because you asked me what happens to the guys who don't make it in this round.
Yeah.
I always want to be giving everyone the opportunity.
To move, reiterative, go do it over again up until we get it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So to those that says we have been graded in 2010 and 2009, we need a truth and reconciliation type of a setup where we can confess our sins that we have not renewed our grading for all these years, but we are now humbling ourselves.
Yeah.
We are coming into Father Lord.
Yeah.
Please, we are repenting.
Yeah.
Is there an appetite for an incentives-driven program that could include multi-sectoral players? Almost similar to how your green incentive program is designed.
Yeah.
You can imagine if SARS joins in and say, we'll support tourism and the grading council and all the other role players in creating an incentive program that mitigate your tax payment stuff or tax breaks that allows you to be able to regrade or look at the best way to comply, in a system. Do you think there's an opportunity for that? Because I'm just saying, in my observation, there's just so many. And now the consumer, who are supposed to be the beneficiaries of this, are sitting here and they don't know which one is new, which one is old, because the identity is also the same.
Yeah.
Your take on that?
Yeah. I think there's always opportunity to... I would love that program with SARS.
Yeah.
And I think, as we mature, it is something that we can address.
Yeah.
And it would be great if our systems could integrate.
Absolutely. No, because the business development part comes in. You'll recall the hoo-ha with the spaza shops.
Yes, yeah.
And the resources that came in to formalize them.
Correct.
And the like.
Correct.
So as a problem solver.
Yeah. To SARS, I'm letting you know I have the largest active tourism database in the country. So, we should be working together. So anyone from SARS listening, please call me. And I think it's, there's no need to go register them because they're already registered. And my greatest progression of what we will be doing in that spirit would be for the basic quality verification program to be the national registration for all tourism products.
Absolutely.
Because we do not have it. And then we have an active program through verifying product and holding their hands through all the way through to grading.
Absolutely.
And I think as we expand the categories, it just makes sense that we then do work with the likes of SARS. So what I'm doing is I'm building the framework so that it becomes a very easy sell to SARS when they come online.
Yeah.
And you will be credited Definitely, Barba.
Nah,
for the concept. Got it. It's recorded here.
Yeah.
And I think it will become easier because it makes our contribution to the reduction of red tape easier for them.
Absolutely.
And that's really, we are quite mindful about the user experience, not just for the consumer, but also for ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
And I think strategically it makes sense for us to grow what we're doing through those kinds of partnerships.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at, just SARS, let's look at, how the Tourism Transformation Fund challenges we are having could equally be problem solved through this consolidation.
Yeah.
That the next step after grading is to ensure diversification, new entrants. How do you create South African born and South African designs and tailor-made chain hotel and accommodation groups,
yes.
That are still world class,
yes.
and embedding the local approach, local facilities with global impact, so that we reverse engineer these things. And for me, it takes me to my favorite subject, which me and you always fight about, and I guess the multiplicity of the quality assurance bodies. And I'm happy that you are working on a framework and we are using this because surely the visionaries behind the Michelin star grading program, in our destination, France, and Paris, when they started, there was no specific framework. They were just leveraging the fact that they can do something and they can set it as a well benchmark.
Yeah.
Therefore, to my point earlier on, you are sitting here, great accommodation, all the wheels and bells are there, quality assurance there, you are picked up by a nice tour operator, everything is there. They are even driving you and on Roslyn BMW plant made car, or assembled car.
Yeah.
They are playing Bacardi piano. You are driving the streets of Pretoria,
Yeah.
So the South African experience is right there.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when you get to another space, you are sitting in a restaurant, you order gin and tonic, the waiter or the waitress asks you, what are you going to mix it with? And that time you have ordered gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Because of the almost non-existent barriers to entry.
Yeah.
If the call centers retrenches or any other spaces, it's easy to dovetail to be a waitron without any major training and quality assurance. Yeah. For me, there lies therefore the opportunity to extend and use this framework to bring in the restaurants.
Yeah.
And surely our Chisanyama versions in the country can't be benchmarked with the Michelin grading star program. Different cultural nuances.
Yeah.
Chisanyama.
Yeah.
We're not barbecuing.
Yeah. Definitely not. Yeah.
Therefore, how do we equally, and it's an exclusive skill, be to do the braai.
Yeah.
That is why majority of South African households have a braai space or a braai stand in it, because it's an embedded South African skill.
Yeah.
How do we globalize it? How do we make business out of it? How do we create it as a norms and standard in your overall framework that you are putting about hospitality space? And is there a role for the grading council to play a part in that? Not that we are grading braai stands and grading Chisanyamas.
Look, I mean, for me right now, I think it's really important that we first acknowledge South Africa. And one of the small but very important changes we have made into the grading criteria, which is imminently to be gazetted, is that there's something very small in most hotels called a continental breakfast. we've changed that wording to traditional breakfast, because what is a continental breakfast?
Absolutely.
It comes from a very European.
100.
I mean, when I say continent, I'm thinking rest of Africa. Like,
Yes.
you know, I'm not thinking of Europe, and that's very
mother
old school.
continent. That's how we,
Exactly.
it's Africa.
So, you know,
Yeah.
it's about the small intentional changes that we're going,
100.
that we are making. So that is really, really critical in what we do. We also have a sustainability accolade, and within that, there are 5 pillars that we are recognizing.
Yeah.
So sustainability in South Africa is different to that of Europe or anywhere else in the world, because we have got 2 amazing things. We've got amazing endemic biodiversity.
Absolutely.
That we've got the third most biodiverse road in the world.
You know,
It's amazing, right? So it recognizes that, our natural environment and our culture. It also recognizes the people. The sustainability of tourism in this country is about people.
Yeah.
We proved one thing wrong from COVID, is that you can't do tourism without people.
Yeah.
No robots are going to replace us.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Robots wouldn't be having this conversation right
Absolutely,
now, you know.
yeah.
And then you've got the things like efficiency and saving electricity, and then consumer practices like single-use plastics and that kind of thing. And then, of course, communicating how we do that. So for me, the two most important pillars of that is the fact that we're recognizing the people and our inherited space that we have to nurture and take care of. And I think by making those very intentional changes, that South African flavoring starts coming through.
100.
Food is quite a stretch for the Grading Council to think about right now, purely for the fact that you do have to be a food expert. And to your point, what is that? And it's quite a thing, but recognizing food in our value chain is certainly definitely on our agenda.
100. I'm excited about that, because it starts with those small steps.
Yeah.
It doesn't ultimately have to end there. But for me, if it's authentically South African, it's driven from a South African cultural nuance, but also there's an intentional program to globalize it. When you globalize with Ubuntu and you globalize with the South African pure intention DNA, it almost make it acceptable, because there's no really hidden agenda here. It's just spreading the love, and just being kind, and expanding our DNA, and ultimately building a just and peaceful world order, where we are able to live side by side with shared experience.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, time flies. That's why I said me and you and the work that you are doing in the Grading Council will need a series of episodes. So we're looking forward to you signing some few monies to look at how we can drive that program, as we always say. It starts here in Gauteng. If we account to just under 34% of South Africa's GDP, just under 9% of Africa's GDP.
Correct.
A working Gauteng, it's a perfect ingredient for a functioning South Africa and a prosperous Africa. Therefore, it's leveraging that strategic positioning. So, like we spoke, beyond accommodation. So, we launched this program, or gives a certificate in this program at a fabulous space. Every time I go there, there's a new edition. At Disofeng, pub in Soweto, and I said there that Disofeng means, lounges and comfort and the like. But the traditional venues and the build issue that we spoke about earlier on, I don't think, as they were designing it, and even the new owner, shout out to Tebza, from Disofeng, start repurposing it, was equally intentional about building a multi-dimensional, multi-purpose infrastructure. Therefore, we have been socialized to believe that a conferencing venue is this, meetings and incentive program is this, leisure and accommodation is this, a restaurant is this.
Absolutely.
So that is why during COVID, when they said clubs are closed, but the restaurants are open. South African just easily made the restaurant the clubs.
We're very innovative like that.
Yeah.
But Disifeng definitely in my top 3 new additions to the Grading Council. So great property, they're a function venue. They also have accommodation, so it's really great. So we have added them. The second one, which I have to speak about, is the new Kgodumodumo Dinosaur Interpretation Center in Clarence. Is also graded for its function capability, because you can hold meetings there. So it's been quite interesting to add those into what we do. There's a third in Cape Town called Innovation City. I don't know if you know about it, but it's a really lovely, innovative space where people come together and share thought leadership, and it's almost like a think tank. So for me, it's about finding those really interesting experiences and putting them on the map. Yeah. And everyone in Gauteng should go to Disifeng.
Absolutely.
It's a fabulous eventing venue. And I think we had our event there on Monday. The Deputy Minister of Tourism was there. It was wonderful, great views. What a lovely place to be. I want to go watch football there.
And for me, let me tell you what was my wow moment. And I'm packing and I'm walking in and I'm talking to the security guys. And as I'm walking in, I saw the new Prasa rail, blue Stimela Sabantu train passing by.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a beauty. And I'm looking at there are such a stunner trains, and shout out to Prasa and Gibela, manufactured here and made here in Gauteng, you know, and that rail line that passes through that space. So I can actually go to my conference with a train in Soweto, you know, or I can finish my Orlando Pirates watching match and jump into that same station at Orlando and get off at Disifeng and have a quality night, you know, experience. But for me, was the ability to, you know, see that, was the ability to actually experience that. Oh, they can actually wash my car while I'm getting in and getting into the meeting. And one of my colleagues was also after the session got a haircut, you know, and there's also a spa in there, but you are also able to have your meeting. I guess to your point when we started about retrofitting for future ready and multi-purpose utilization, your message, you know, to those entrepreneurs, your message to the enterprises, your message to, you know, the build industry on how best can they leverage and use any Disifeng. Repurposing example to assist you in the work that you are doing and almost make it this an embedded experience around a wholeness quality service offering.
You know, what I'd like to request of everyone is don't hide your culture. Bring your culture to the fore, whatever it may be, whatever your personal touch and experience is. Don't be shy, because the world wants to experience it. That really is the truth. People come to South Africa not for the hotels. Like, look, it's just the trust component of an incredible experience. People come to South Africa for the people, the culture, the place, the natural, beautiful environment we have. But don't hide it from anybody. It is so unique globally, and I think that's why our culture is so highly exportable. So please don't be shy. People really want to experience more of that.
Your message to those thousands that I spoke about earlier on that are still using that old grading, we need to embed grading not in a punitive manner, like your messaging has always been, you know, on. Your message to them, and how best can we bring everybody back. And I'm raising this as we march towards another World Cup event, the 2027 Cricket World Cup. Therefore, how do we use our 2029, 2010 experience and the unintended consequences, you know, to approach this Cricket World Cup better, prepared, and to our own advantage?
So absolutely, what needs to happen is just get graded. If you have your paperwork in order, there's an 80% discount on the grading fee already packaged into the grading program, compliments of the Department of Tourism. Go onto the website, register, fill in your details. We'll send an assessor out to you and be part of the process, because I will guarantee this. When big groups of people travel, as we experience with G20, Barba, they do check out the grading criteria.
Yeah.
When media are traveling, when the officials are traveling, when the teams are traveling, and it's going to be a World Cup throughout South Africa.
Absolutely, yeah.
In almost every province. I would say, do not be afraid to get graded and take advantage of the 80% discount that already exists. If you're unsure, there's an assessor who can come and help you with it. There's nothing to be afraid of, absolutely nothing to be afraid of. It's not a punitive system, I really have to say this, but it is one that gives you access to the formal tourism sector. It gives you access to match officials and people who are looking for official accommodation. And there are many people in an entourage that have to travel. It's not just the team, the coaches, the support staff. There's media that goes with it. There are match officials. There are the volunteers who have to help people around the stadia. So there are many different types of people who are going to be needing accommodation. The last estimate I saw, there will be about 320,000 people over a 6-week period traveling throughout this country. Please don't be afraid. Go get graded so you can be part of the program.
How do people, establishments, and the likes of SARS, the likes of development funding institution, and other fellow partners in transformation and change get hold of you? How do they reach out to you?
Very simply, you can email me on Bronwyn, BRONWEN, @southafrica.net. Always available. I have a very big team who are able to solve many problems, and if we can't, we'll certainly find somebody who can. But most importantly, I would like to make a call for partnership. The only way we are going to grow the economy and the importance of this program to the tourism economy specifically is through partnership. Please give me a shout. I'm very, very available to any positive conversation. Thank you.
We have just heard that quality assurance and grading is not just about the stars and the plaques. It's about building trust. It's about that certification, but most importantly, it's about the people that continues the quality and the experience beyond just the physical things that you are seeing there outside the windows or the criterion that Bronwyn has articulated. For us to accelerate transformation, to include new players, but also to accommodate designated groups in the workings that we do, so that we make tourism, growth and development a deliberate transformation catalyst. We need to be able to link ourselves to programs like this. The basic qualification verification programs that has taken place now with Gauteng Tourism being part, our colleagues in KZN being part, and the vision of making this a countrywide program bears testament to the importance of this. It lays a foundation, a solid foundation, almost a soft entry into the grading journey. The challenge remains, once you get graded, how do you sustain it? What form of institution and support do you get? But the reality is, it buys you the currency, it buys you the collaborative infrastructure, and it buys you an opportunity to showcase your quality with the world and retain, not just building, but retaining the trust that the consumers, the buyers of our product and experiences are looking for. Thank you very much, Bronwyn, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, Bob.
Unpacking this important topic for us. We're looking forward to a TGCSA powered series of programs that builds the 170 in Gauteng into the future, how we are able to expand their products, their profile, and how do we collectively, prepare them for the grading stage. Once again, thank you very much for heeding our invitation. We notice the work that we do, we appreciate it, and you can be guaranteed of our continued support.
Thank you, Barba. Much appreciated.
Don't forget to follow us at Visit Gauteng on Instagram. We're also at Twitter and Visit Gauteng, or Yona X. We are also at I Love Gauteng on Facebook. We have the Visit Gauteng mobile app, which is available on Google Play and iStores. You can download that app, and once you have that app, you might be a product. You might be the 170 product that have just passed through this verification program that becomes your window and access absolutely for free into the market out there. You can create your own profile. You are able to build your specials, list in your offering, and manage it on your own, right, in your mobile, courtesy of Visit Gauteng. So download the Visit Gauteng mobile app, ensure that you build in your profile, and let's be your partner in your journey towards grading, or in your journey towards other ventures that grows the visitor economy. That has been another fascinating and empowering episode of Gauteng Lifve, the premier platform where we propagate, share, and converse about everything in the visitor economy. And until the next episode, second round.